All right, we're back. We're doing it again. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It's like I'm a glutton for punishment or something. Like, why would someone just continually do this? It's crazy. What's up, folks? It's Steve Holmes. We're streaming live from Los Angeles in my drum room here. We do this every weekend, every other weekend ish, as long as we can go until the urge to drum overtakes us and makes us pause life and get back in here and get it all out again. That's kind of what happens, really. Those of you that are familiar with this, you know how this works. We'll do a little playing up front, a little improvising, a little warming up, and then we chat. We answer questions. We talk about various things. We like to dig into the process of being creative on the drums and how that process works from start to finish. Because hitting the things is the last step in a very long process, and we like kind of dissecting different parts of that process and everything. So thanks for hanging out. Um, and if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers. And yeah, it's going to be fun. We got some stuff we're going to do later today. We had our friend Louie Palmer stop by and hang out. I got some footage of Louie in here playing on the kit. So we're going to show some of that footage later on in the stream. So that's going to be cool. But for now, I'm just going to warm up, see if my hands will obey my head, see if my head can come up with ideas. And if not, it's going to be an awfully short stream, which is okay, because that's life. That's the adventure. Okay, so thanks for hanging out. I'm going to do some playing. Post some feedback on the sound. Always want to make sure the sound is working well. We're constantly dialing the setup here, dialing the drum sound, dialing the sound for the stream, trying to make sure everything sounds good. So please let me know if that's the case or not, and we'll get things dialed in. All right. Thanks for hanging out. My name's Steve Holmes. We're going to do some drumming, or as I like to say, less talking, more drumming. Okay. All right, well, that happened. Man, really had trouble getting it started today, huh? Really had trouble getting it started. Apologies for the, you know, unavoidable perspiration. Not exactly. I don't know. Do people have streams where they like go to the gym and stuff and get like sweaty? I mean, I don't know. That must be a thing, right? Maybe. Ooh. Anyways, what's up, folks? My name is Steve Holmes. Thanks for hanging out. We're streaming live from the Los Angeles area. We're trying to play drums. This is what we're doing. Trying to have ideas, play the ideas, and all the steps in between. One of which is hands obeying, which was like not really happening 100% today, you know? But it's interesting. It forces you to to throttle and regulate, you know? It's funny, I'm like all winded. My glasses are getting fogged up. Sorry. Oh man, what a mess. Anyways, yeah, reaching that point where it's like, okay, Steve, time to like play less notes and give your hands a rest and that kind of thing. So that too is like, you know, there's a benefit to that, you know? That's part of it. I mean, really, like for musicality, you should just like play less notes, but I guess physical inability is also a reason to play less notes. Oh man. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I can't help it. Like literally I can't help it. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Cheers. We're playing drums. Let's go to the chat. We said we were going to go to the chat. Let's see what folks are saying. Let's see. We've got Romulus from Poland. What's up, Romulus? Thanks for hanging out. We're going back to the beginning of the chat here, so this is like 20, 30 minutes ago. Jerome says, "Hey, Steve, what's up, Jerome on YouTube? Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Can you do a buzz roll on the snare?" Says Jerome Davis on YouTube. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if we can talk about doing buzzes. But man, my buzz rolls sucks. If you go to YouTube and you just search for like, you know, good clean buzz roll, I guarantee you're gonna find videos of guys doing it like 1,000 times better than me. Let's see. NRAM on YouTube says, "Hey man, dropping in just to say hello. That you're a huge inspiration." NRAM, thank you so much. NRAM on YouTube. Jerome, I also like hearing fingers on the snare like a drum roll too. Okay. Matthias is back, you guys. Matthias on YouTube. Matthias comes to almost every stream. And as you know or don't know, Matthias is an amazing drummer. So anyone interested in kick-ass drum content, definitely check out Matthias. Matthias Knorr, Knorr. Amazing drumming. Thanks for hanging out, Matthias. It's appreciated. Robert Ligori on Facebook says, "Nice playing, Steve." Thank you, Robert. Adam Wilson says, "Steve, hey Steve, how are you, dude? You're a freaking wizard on the drums." Says Adam Wilson. I don't know about that. I'm just trying, man, like everyone else. Thanks for hanging out, Adam. I appreciate it. Let's see. Jerome says, "You killed it. What bands have you been in?" I like trash can endings. So many great musical ideas. Yeah, you know, the ideas were kind of coming, but it was like, they weren't really coming out. Like at times they were, you know, like I'd hear a theme and I would just try to like, usually the theme is just some like simple rhythmical phrase and like fill it in and simple rhythmical phrase and fill it in. And, you know, during the fill in part, like coming back to play that phrase correctly again is like, it's a thing. It's challenging, you know? Let's see. Gleb says, "Dope." Mark Finley on YouTube says, "I dropped a few pounds." I looked a lot fitter. I don't know about that, man. Mark, I am not in very good shape, man. I'll take the compliment. I'll take the compliment, but oof, yeah, I have not been eating very wisely. I'm gonna be 51 on June 26th. I'll be 51. I plan on doing a stream on my birthday. We'll see if I'm in town. If I'm not traveling, then I'll probably do another drum stream because I did one last year on my birthday. Been streaming for like over a year regularly, like from the new drum room that we got here. So I think that's pretty cool. We're coming up on a year, probably more, of like fairly regular streams. And I think that's kind of cool. I just got to find a way to archive all these topics in a user-friendly list of topics, and you just click on the link, and it takes you to that stream at that timestamp. And I have a friend of mine who is going to help me with that, but it's everyone's super busy, and real life gets in the way. But hopefully, we'll be able to put that together because I think that's a good cause. Tim on YouTube, Tim Huang. Yes, Tim, what's up? Eat more barbecue. Sorry. Let's see, Adam Wilson. Any tips for developing left-hand traditional grip? Man, a couple, sure. Mark Finley says, any gigs coming up? No gigs. Although I went to an interesting gig yesterday. I saw some guys play. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Christian on Facebook says, "Kick ass as always." Steve, I hate the time zone difference between LA and Europe. Yeah, I hear you, man. All these streams that I've done in the past they're still up. They're still available. So I guess you just got to watch after the fact. Let's see. You're going to be 51. You look 41. Yeah, I'm going to be 51, you guys. Love to see the collaboration with Louie Palmer, says Ryan Cox. Well, there was no collaboration, but Louie was here. You guys, Louie was here last weekend. He came and hung out for a little bit, and that was fun. And I managed to get him behind the drums. And I tried to get him to do a little stream, actually, like as a comedic bit, where he would be here and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And then I would come in from the door and be like, "Louie, what are you doing on my stream?" But we decided not to do that. But I did get some footage of him playing. So let me see if I can get that footage happening. I asked Louie today. I'm like, "Hey, can I show a little bit of you playing on the stream?" And he said sure. So I actually found a little snippet of him talking about the lick that I play all the time now, that I saw on one of his Vic Firth videos. It's the foot right left, 16-note triple thing, like I love that phrase. And I got a little clip of him talking about that, so bear with me while I get this working. All right, so there's Louie, and see if I can play the clip. Yeah. Yeah, see what he's doing there? It is super cool. Yeah, all right, that's enough. I don't want Louie to get mad at me for being like, "Oh, you played too much." Oh, man. So, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, Louie was here hanging out, and we did some drum geeking out. Yeah, did you see what he did with that lick that we always do? He was like, splashing the hi-hat, closing the hi-hat, it's pretty cool. Louie and I have known each other for a long time, actually. And he was, we first saw each other on the houseofdrumming.com forums years ago, like in the 90s. Maybe late 90s, early 2000s. Let's see. Okay, so just making sure in the chat here that the video sounded okay. Let's see. Christian says, "I always watch your streams Monday." Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for checking them out, Christian. I appreciate it. Mark Finley says, "Break down the lick." Okay, I'll break it down. Damn, you have similar styles. Yes, Louie and I have similar styles. We're both into kind of the same drummers, the same kind of stuff. Okay, Matthias says it sounded great, so that's the official sign off. And we've talked about this lick so much, but since Mark is asking, I'll just do it really quick. Okay, I don't want I don't want you to feel excluded, Mark. So here's what that lick is. We'll do the multicam for it, okay? Multicam. It's funny, every time I break something down, if it's something I've broken down before, I try to, the next time I try to do a better job at like demonstrating it or explaining it. Because, I go back and I watch these streams and I'm like, oh man, I did not do a good job of explaining that. So that time I tried to just like, 3, 3, 3. Like, it's just 4 groups of 3. And the key is that first 2 groups of 4, like foot, right, left, right. But that's what I'm thinking. And he did it, like, as you saw on the clip, like a cool, like, splash the hi-hat, chick the hi-hat, splash the hi-hat, chick the hi-hat, and the foot is on the downbeat, so if you alternate splashing and chicking, you're going to get like a which is pretty cool. So, yeah. Adam Wilson says, nice. Matthias, yes. Okay, so somebody asked about traditional grip tips. I mean, that's a big thing. Yeah, I mean, we talked about traditional grip before. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't let whether or not we talked about something before dictate if we talk about it again. But I mean, really, it's like the key thing is I mean, for me, it's I mean, there's a number of things, but the one thing that most folks aren't doing, it's not that most folks they're not practicing the right thing. They're just not practicing it enough. Like, it takes so long to get something like on the level that we're talking about, like however you want to talk about that, there was a finish line in mind for me, and I got lucky. I got lucky actually, because I went to high school and we marched, and sorry, I'm trying to find a particular video, because I always talk about this and I never show the video, and maybe we'll show the video for a change. Anyway, point being is, like, I did a lot of marching in high school, and there is one video on my channel that is like a little compilation of all the marching stuff. And it shows like the double stroke stuff that I'm talking about. La da 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 da, silly video. Let's see if we could share our screen. Da, 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 da. All right, we can close the Louie Palmer lick, right? We can expand this. We can expand this. Oops. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right, there we go. I don't know how the audio is going to be when we play this. This is me marching in high school. A little sloppy. I'm playing Snare. Oh man, there's some better stuff in here. Hold on. Check out the back sting right here. Right here. Okay, that's crazy. For high school, that's crazy. That's me on the right. It's just the same thing from the beginning. That's me on the right again, I think. And bass drums mimic it. And we do this thing, we play on each other's drums right here. Yeah, it's the same thing from before. Here's us winning best percussion. Come on, that's funny. That's funny. Anyways, I mean, as potentially embarrassing as that is, you know, the folks keep asking me about, you know, about traditional grip and doubles, and that's like 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, you know, and that's a big part of it, you know, that's a big part of it, you guys. Like when I was young, like I remember the first rehearsal I had with the marching band, there was two guys there, they were already playing Snare, Dan Levine and Dave Corcoran, and I was the hot shit kid coming in who could play like Tom Sawyer on the drum set, and they were like, okay, play a roll, and I'm like, buzz, and they all went like this because I didn't know about double stroke rolls, you know. And so I spent that whole summer, this is my freshman year in high school, the whole summer going mama dada mama dada mama dada, trying to get my doubles together, you know. And for 4 years, you know, and I've said this before, but like it's relevant because we're talking about practicing the right stuff, the right amount. And I was fortunate because, you know, band was a big deal where I grew up. That's in Linwood, New Jersey, by the way. It's where Peter Erskine was born. Same city. Him and I are from the same area. So point being is, like, for 4 years in high school, you know, we rehearsed twice a week. We competed as a band. So, you know, when bands compete, it's like a sports season. You have like whatever, a dozen band competitions. You play your field show every show. You have rehearsals leading up to that. And then the band plays in every football game. Every football game, home and away. We did our marching band show during the football game. We played in the stands, you know, football, high school football music, you know, just having fun, whatever. Then we marched in parades. You know, and the thing about a marching band that marches in a parade is, you know, the band plays a tune and then, you know, they march for a little while and then they play the same tune again or a different tune. But while they're marching, the drum line never stops playing. We play what's called the cadence, you know, which is jump, dum, dum, jump, dum, dum, jump, like that kind of thing that the band marches to, except ours was not. You know, we had our own cool custom cadence, you know. And I remember all that stuff, you know. It was all serious like double stroke rudimental stuff. And so I would do that at high school and then go home and play along to Rush records, you know, and Van Halen records and stuff. And eventually kind of just merge those, merge the two, because then I got into like, the jazz fusion guys, the Weckl and Vinny and stuff, and they were traditional grip, and they had the double stroke stuff happening, and so that was like the final merge. I was like, all right, I have the doubles happening from marching band, I kind of have the drum set happening, from playing along to all those recordings, and so I just kind of put them together, So the foundation of the doubles was that stuff, and I've got a 3-part video series on my YouTube channel about this, about playing clean double strokes on the drum set, and I go through, several exercises that help you get to the finish line, which for me is this. When we're talking about applying doubles and my approach to using doubles and stuff, improvising phrases that are accents over top of various subdivisions and doubling everything else. That's the goal, So if you're playing over 16 notes, you're playing 16 notes, you want to just improvise a phrase as accents, bat, 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 and then double everything else, So it sounds like you're playing a roll, but you hear those accents over top. Like that's the goal of the approach to that whole thing, and I know that I think it was Adam or someone asked about like, or Mark was like, hey, traditional grip and doubles and that kind of thing. And like, I mean, I don't know. We're getting to the point where it's like, okay, let's talking more playing. So I'll just play a little bit. And if I notice something worth pointing out, like, I guess I'll just mention it. Okay. But this is no different than like when anyone else does it, Just to mention some things that come to mind. I mean, I for a long time I kind of I was holding the sticks pretty tight and I wasn't allowing like rebound to happen. But over the years, for a long time now, I've been trying to capitalize on the rebound and let it help me as much as possible. And that's from Dave via Freddie that kind of stuff. Because it's true, like the stick really does want to bounce, but I don't want to rely on that. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to power out doubles if I have to. I like being able to sorry, I know you can't see my left hand here. I'll move it up a little bit just so you can kind of get the point. Like I want to be able to do it myself through muscles, just, powering it out. But that's the thing. It's like if you spend all your time lifting these heavy weights, and then it's like, okay, I can do it. I can lift the heavy weight. And then someone's like, okay, well, here's a lighter one, because that's easier. And the lighter weight is just using that rebound, just spending time like getting used to how that feels and what's happening there. You know what I mean? Because with the right hand, I'm doing, the middle finger as the fulcrum most of the time, not all the time, so you're just kind of throwing the stick down and then letting it come back, But for traditional grip, it's obviously different, right? And I'm throwing the stick down and I'm letting it come back and I'm kind of snapping it back into position with my thumb. Like this is where the grip is for folks that are not sure or need a review. Like this is the fulcrum, like this pocket here with the thumb and the index finger. It's kind of that's where the grip is. And when I'm, people that don't play drums, when they're like, show me how to hold the sticks, like that's usually what I do for traditional grip. I'm like, okay, just put it here and then just move your wrist. Like, just get used to that. Like, you got to know, like, wrist, arm, fingers. Those are the three things. So pay attention to that. Like, wrist, or arm rather, wrist, fingers, the finger stuff is like, I don't use it that much when I'm playing rolls. I mean, I'm never like, I don't do the, the Weckl, like, only fingers roll, because I think that, I just don't do that. And I just don't think there's a lot of power there. But, when the fingers come into play is when you're playing a little ghost notey stuff. That's when the fingers come in for me. Sorry. I mean, it really is all about doubles. And that's kind of good news. Because when I'm, playing grooves and stuff there, like, I'm playing, sometimes 3 and 4 notes, and really I'm just dribbling the ball. I am not powering out all those strokes. I'm just, like, dribbling the ball, and that just comes with just playing it slow and just getting used to what that feels like. Make sure you're not holding the stick too far back, or else the weight of the front is just going to kill it. There's no bounce there. That's why I kind of go for the seesaw thing, like, so you get the weight on both sides. Sometimes I'll just dribble with my thumb. I realize this is really loud because the talkie mic is on, but whatever. Oh, flipping it over like I suck at that. But just keep the stick moving, right? And like I should slow down. I'm doing it too fast, right? Switching fingers middle to index. See, I'm not very good at this stuff. And both. There's just not a lot of power there for me. So the fingers just kind of help it along. They're never like, I don't like, oh, only finger. Like, it's a thing that just helps, So I do work on it, but they play more of a supportive role. The doubles, I guess this is worth mentioning. Here, let me come back to earth here. This is worth mentioning. It's like when I worked on the doubles, I did not practice double stroke rolls. I practiced 2 individual singles per hand, and they became the double. I did not sit down and go like, okay, baba, baba, 1 2 1 2. I didn't do that. I went like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Like, that's what I did to get the doubles happening. I spent a lot of time with those sticks we're using in those high school clips. Those are thick drum corps sticks, and I spent a lot of time playing with those, like on pillows and stuff, like the dentist buddy thing, like playing on pillows. Like, it helps. It helped me. This is all just stuff that worked for me. This might not work for other people. This may not be good for other people, but you're asking me, and so I'm telling you what worked for me. Right? Spent a lot of time just doing this. Trying to maintain the volume between the strokes, so it's not da-da. And everyone's always like, oh, accent that second stroke. Can you accent the second stroke? Have you worked on? No. I haven't. Not interested in going da-da, all the time. Musically, sure, if that's the phrase I hear in my head, then that's what I'll try to do. But I never worked on like da-da. Like, everyone always asks about that, switching from doubles to singles. Actually, another exercise that I've been working on lately that's actually been challenging, as embarrassing as that is just like over top of 16-note triplets, switching between doubles, singles, and paradiddles. Doubles, singles, and paradiddles over top of 16-note triplets I find is a great warm-up. So let's try that. You can watch me suck. See, sloppy. You know, and I wasn't staying consistent, like singles, paradiddles, doubles, single. You know, I was kind of switching it around. But you can hear when the paradiddles happen because I accent the first note of the paradiddle, right? So it's like stick it at those are over top of 16 note triplets, and it's challenging because the muscles you need to do all three of those things are different. You know, and the goal is different. It feels different, and the thing is like the transition coming out of paradiddles to singles. You know, because the accent of the paradiddle is quarter note triplets, because it's every fourth 16th note triplet, which is quarter note triplets, right? Da 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 paradiddle 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 ba. Like that's literally what it is. Over top of 16 note triplets. So that last paradiddle transitioning from that to singles, like it's challenging for me. You know, let me do it again really slow so you guys can see what and I'll try to stay consistent. I'll start with doubles, then singles, then paradiddles. I'll try that. And I'll do it like really slow because I need to do it slow for myself and it'll help you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, see, going from paradiddles back to doubles, blowing it. But you get the gist, you know? And for the singles, like at a certain tempo, I'm turning on the molar. I'm going like, like I'm turning on the molar for that stuff. And I know that we were talking about like traditional grip with the left hand and doubles and stuff, and I think we did kind of talk about that. But it's almost silly to talk about just one, like it's a dance. You know, it's a dance, and so I don't like to just like, oh, only this, you know, because it's this, you know. So that's something I've been working on lately. I was stumbling with that, and so for the first time in a while, like outside of the drum room, like in the living room, I'm like, I opened the drawer, got out the practice sticks, got out the pad, like for the first time in ages, as embarrassing as that is. it was like it was like the movie when the guy has to get out the thing at the end that he used to use all the time, like John Wick beating the cement to get his guns, and gosh, it's like, you could hear the Avengers theme as I slowly open the drawer and grab the sticks, the God Ray through the window and take out the pad and then suck. Oh man, it's all about practicing, right? Anyways. So, Adam, you were saying, how do you get clean doubles especially? I hope that help? Adam Wilson, anyone else that's interested in this stuff, like, was that helpful? Like, let me know. Let's see what else our folks are saying. I almost applied to play with the Blue Devils in 2007. I regret I didn't, says Adam Wilson. Yes. Man, my friend Derek DeField's amazing drummer. Really good friend of mine. He marched snare in Blue Devils. He has amazing hands. He showed me a lot of like applying like that rudimental stuff to the drum set, like paradiddles over 30-second notes and stuff. Yeah, super cool stuff. Let's see. So becoming proficient in traditional grip now means sitting down and doing drills. Sitting down and practice, man. Let's see. Mark says, "Hey, how did you get to know Louie?" Yeah, like I said, we had. How did I first meet Louie? We had, back and forth on the houseofdrumming.com forums, my website that is still up. And then, he moved to LA, and I think, he reached out to me when he moved to LA a long time ago now, like 10 years ago or something crazy. I don't know. And I actually put him in touch with some, I tried to help him, like I introduced him to some folks, that would be helpful, like a Yamaha, Zildjian, blah, blah, blah. And just tried to help him along, It's all about helping folks. And Louie's a great drummer. So, yeah, we've hung out a bunch of times. And sometimes I wonder, like, hey, it would be cool to do a video with him. But, like, at the end of the day, two traditional grip fusion guys, and I'm like, playing, like, I don't know. Is that a good idea? Maybe. The way to do that, really, I think about this, like, the way to do that would be to really write something out. Not just like, hey, let's trade fours over a click. Like, I would want to write out a piece where there's like specific unison parts that establish a thing, and then maybe a little bit of trading, and then back to like change feels and another unison thing. That would be cool. Capitalize on some of the polyrhythmic stuff that I'm hip to, and make a cool like drum piece out of that. I just don't have time, you guys. There's just not enough time in the day. Like, I never do any play alongs here. I never play along to tracks, and I have tracks that I want to play along to. I just want to like. I want to, create like a drumless version of it, and like maybe make a custom arrangement in Logic, and drum along to that, but you're going to think I'm crazy. I've had this old REM tune in my head for weeks now called The One I Love. This one goes out to the one I, that tune. It's a great tune. Fire, and that tune's been stuck in my head, and I'm just blowing over it in my head. That tune would be so much fun to blow over that tune, because there's not a lot of lyrics. Like, he just says the same thing over and over. And so I've been fantasizing about putting together like this custom like Logic session, like download the track with no drums, create like a cool arrangement where it's like, because it's a short tune, so like you play the tune, then maybe like take out everything except for the vocals and just blow over that. I think that would sound cool with the guys like fire, and I'd be like, like just blowing over it, And the ending is pretty epic too. I don't even know the name of the drummer for REM. I don't even know his name. I'm sure he's great. That's a catchy tune. It'd be fun to play along with. And there's other tunes too that I would love to like create a custom, arrangement and just like, groove over it and blow over it and stuff. Like, there's an old Gino Vanelli tune, Stop. And turn it in, you, babe. I just wanna stop. I think that would be fun to blow. Stop. That's kind of what I do, and I don't know if that's good or not. It's like you memorize how the vocals sound, and then you mimic. I tend to mimic the rhythm of the vocals on the drums. That's not good. That's not what the rhythm section does. You're not supposed to double the vocals with drums, but that's like what comes to my head as a result of memorizing the vocals, It's kind of like doubling the melody in jazz, but instead of doubling the melody, I'm doubling the vocals. It would be fun. I mean, but obviously on a real session, that would not be good. But just for our purposes here, it might be fun. But I just don't have the time to stop and spend hours putting together these things. You know, I mean, I work full time at my day job as a video game designer. You know, I'm here. I'm a husband. You know, I've got, you know, I'm getting old, so I can't stay up till 3:00. Oh, I was up till 4 putting together this cool project. You know, like I can do that once in a while if I get really inspired, but not so much these days. Let's see, what else are people? See, I noticed Peter Erskine holds the stick really far back, and I'm like, how are you getting any rebound? Well, I mean, I'm sure Erskine, like, he can hold the stick wherever he wants, you know. I mean, he's a wizard, you know, a veteran wizard of drumming, you know, and I'm sure he went through, you know, he's been playing professionally for decades. I'm sure he went through phases where, you know, for a while he held here and there and match grip and blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on. And after a while, it's like once you get control and you can just kind of do whatever you want, then it's just like, oh, I feel like, it's like almost like picking clothes. Like, I feel like wearing black today, you know, I feel like holding back here, you know, like once you get to a certain level. I took a lesson with Peter a long time ago, and that was super fun. He had me play All the Things You Are, and I did the best I could, and we talked a lot about how I stink. No, he didn't say that I stunk, but it was, you know what I'm saying. It was great and humbling. He's such an amazing drummer. I just have so much respect for those guys that have just been doing it for decades. It's crazy. Like, it's 2023. He's still like playing professionally, just retired from teaching. He's got a home studio, you know, swings his ass off. There's actually some drumless play-along tracks from Erskine, like their Erskine play-along thing. It's on Amazon Music. If you just go to Amazon Music, I use Amazon as my, like, I don't use Apple or Spotify. Like, I've chosen Amazon as my, you know, as my hub of all things. And Amazon Music, they've got like the drumless Peter Erskine package on there. And I thought, like, that's another thing I want to do, like download those charts, go over them together with you guys, you know, like try playing along with that stuff. It would be fun, you know, maybe we'll do that. We'll do that eventually, because I just keep doing these streams. Eventually, we're just going to run out. It's just going to get boring. Like, it's already boring me watching me play the same stuff over and over again and talk about the same stuff. Let's see. Sam on YouTube says, Louie Palmer is my favorite drummer. The past while. Seriously, tasteful stuff. Yeah, Louie's great. Appreciate the insights. Says Adam, you're welcome. Adam Wilson says Steve Wick, like John Wick. That's funny. Becoming proficient in traditional takes a lifetime, but the journey is worth it, says Scott Dunn on YouTube. Yes, I agree. I mean, you know, something else that folks don't talk about a lot. Hold on. Golden Monkey on YouTube says, what cover bands were you in? I live in New Jersey. Are you still in Jersey? No, I moved out of Jersey in 1993 when I was 21. I had to get out of there. It was not for me, because I don't drink. I didn't drink back then. I don't drink now. And by and large, for the most part, there are exceptions, of course, but most folks there were just interested in, you know, getting a job and drinking and hanging out at bars and stuff. And that was not me. I was obsessed with music and drumming when I was 21. Completely obsessed. And I was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to LA. I got to be where the drumming is. And I did, and I'm still here. And I couldn't make it as a professional drummer, and I became a video game designer. And now I make Call of Duty. But I studied with Ray Nunzi. That's worth mentioning. Ray Nunzi is a pretty big name in South Jersey for teaching. And I studied under Ray, and he showed me jazz independence, actually. He got me started on that stuff early before I moved out to LA, which was so handy once I got out here, man. Having the doubles together, having basic jazz independence already together when I got out here, was super, super handy. I actually was in a cover band called Power Play in like 89. And I have a video of us actually at Crilly's Circle Tavern in Brigantine, New Jersey, which I don't think is there anymore. But yeah, good times playing with Power Play. We did all kinds of stuff. We did like Springsteen, Eddie Money, Pink Floyd. And then I was the new guy, and they were like, all right, I guess we got to do some brush tunes. We did like YYZ, and I took this big drum solo. It was fun. Funny. And I had the Yamaha recording customs back then, too. It was fun. Drums Verdict says, what's up, Steve? What's up, Drums Verdict? Let's see. Golden Monkey says, yeah, good move. Spot on. That is. Hey, I love Jersey. I still have family there, and I still go back once in a while. It will always be I was very lucky to grow up where I did, man, for like kids riding bikes and stuff. It was very small town, very suburban. It was on the bay. It was close to Atlantic City. There was like beaches and water and Ocean City Boardwalk, and it was a beautiful place to grow up. I'm very fortunate. Let's see. Ken on YouTube says, can you play the Funky Drummer? I can't play it exactly note for note. Well, we can talk about like 16th note, oriented grooves and ghost notes and that kind of thing. And we talked about that a little bit on the last stream, actually, which was June 3rd, I think. If you go back on the last stream and you look at the description of the video, there's actually clickable chapters there with different topics. And one of them is like 16th note grooves and practicing ghost notes and stuff. So I would check that stuff out. Anyone that's not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, please subscribe. Trying to get the subscriber count up. Anyone that's interested in supporting financially, we're down with that too. I don't have a Patreon or anything. steveholmes@gmail.com. On PayPal or on YouTube, you can click the super, I think it's called. It's like a little smiley face and a $sign, or it says, you can buy a super, and any financial support is welcome and really appreciated. We use it to upgrade the room. Cameras, microphones, that kind of thing. Drum heads, drumsticks. Still working on that deal with Vader, Chad. Vader 5Bs, love my Vaders, but I'm not with Vader, but I would love to be. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll reach out to Chad again. Let's see. Adam says, but drinking is so much fun. Seriously, they're good for you. I love partaking and having a drink, but it's overrated. Hey, man, different strokes. It just wasn't just it's just not for me, But obviously, tons of people love it and have fun, and that's super awesome. Ken has the recording customs in quartz gray. That sounds like a nice color. Those are such great sounding drums. I prefer the Phoenix these days, though. I love my Phoenix. Adam also says, I'm definitely going to check out more of your past YouTube lesson videos. Please do, Adam. You've been to several of these streams, man, and you've come around here long enough to where it's like you should get the most out of this, there's the repertoire, if you will. I mean, there's a playlist called, Steve Holmes Drum Lessons, and there's like, I don't know how many videos on there now, a lot, So if you're interested in traditional grip and doubles and that kind of thing, check that out. All right, so I think maybe we're going to turn on the click, play a little bit more, and then call it. That's the plan. Because it's been a while since we've played with the click. And I need to redeem myself from sucking earlier. So I need a moment to get the click going. Dino Vanelli. I just wanna stop. I wish I was a better singer. I could just like sing for you guys. In between getting my metronome happening and switching. All right, so I've got the click in the headphones. I'll feed it into the stream in a moment. I was going to do something fast, but actually this is 94. Feels kind of good, actually. You know why? Because it's uncomfortable. We need to get out of the comfort zone here. We're just doing 2 counts. Just trying to get levels here. Trying to get levels. I think that's good. All right. Let me know if that clicks too loud or too soft once I start playing. Good Lord, that's enough. All right. Ooh. I know, Matthias. I gotta put the click on. I gotta practice the click being like on the right, the last 16th. You know, I worked on that until I could just barely do it, and then I just stopped. And that's why I suck at it. Anyways, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out, folks. My name is Steve Holmes. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, or if you're not following me on Facebook, or Kick, or Twitch, or Twitter, we're blasting to all these right now. So check it out. Check it out and subscribe to all the things. All right? We're creating a digital legacy here. This is what we're doing. Because in the future, I want people to just ask an AI, hey, what did Steve Holmes say about this thing? And they'll be like, Steve Holmes said, you know, whatever. Digital legacy. All right? We'll see. Thanks for hanging out. We'll do this again. Hopefully we'll play along with some music. I mean, I keep thinking about doing that, and it's like, when I get in here, I don't want to spend time clicking on things. I don't want to spend time, like, putting together Logic projects. Like, I just want to play. This is why this happens the way it happens. Because I get in here, I just want to play. I just want to play. You know? So we'll see. I mean, I'd almost rather get some musicians in here and play with them instead of playing along with tracks. You know, it's less work. And it's actually a lot more fun. Let's see. Hey, Steve, any thoughts on metric modulations? I only know like 2 or 3 that I'm comfortable with, and I did them here. I did like over 8th note triplets, and I did over the half note triplet. And I tried to play some stuff on the 5/2, 5/2 subdivision. Because I've got that pretty well internalized, and so I'm trying to play stuff on top of that. And so you saw me stumble on that, and you saw me like, you know, try different things on that, and that's what that was. It was 5/2. If you want to know what 5/2 looks like, write out 2 quarter notes, put a quintuplet over top of every quarter note, so 5 and 5, and then only play every other one, right? So 2 quintuplets is 10/2. So if you put an accent over every other one, you're accenting 5/2, and then just play that. Just play that 5/2 instead of 10/2. That's how I got there. And then you memorize what that sounds like, which is really the thing. Dat, 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 dat. Right? The first 3 notes happen right before that second downbeat. Dat, dat, dat. Dat, dat, dat. Right? The 3 of the 5. And then the other 2 happen after that. Dat, 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 dat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/2. Internalize how that sounds. Be able to play that like on one drum. Tap your foot to the quarter note. And then come up with phrases with it. That's how that works. Francis Dougherty says, "Hands of gold, Steve." Thank you very much, Francis. I think on that note, we're gonna sign off. Thank you, Francis. Really appreciate you hanging out and checking things out. My name is Steve Holmes. We're gonna do this again in the future. That's the plan. All right, take care. Keep practicing. Practice the right stuff enough. That's really the secret. And the beauty is it's not a secret. All right. See you folks next time. Thanks.